So, evaluation. So for goals, Josh's strengths are that he is motivated because it's fun, which means he's more likely to want to take part and go and do it rather than just trying to improve body image, because then if his body image isn't getting any better, then he might become frustrated. And he's setting himself targets for aim for, which means that he has something to look forward to and aim at, so it'll be easier for him to know what he wants when he goes to the gym or plays basketball or does some exercises. Some of the areas for improvement for Josh for goals would be definitely to find more time to exercise, because he's a banker. He struggles to find the time to exercise. So then, if he's not got the time to exercise, then he's gonna get less fit and then not be able to work on these problems. For physical activity, there's no real areas for improvement because he exercises for 6 to 8 hours a week and 30 minutes a day, which are above the recommended amount of exercise a week. So this is good because it means he's constantly keeping fit, healthy and active, and he doesn't want to, and he's doing enough exercise, but because his job, he's starting to find less time for it, but he's still doing the recommended amount, which is good. He does maximal exercise, which means he's giving his all, and he plays for a local basketball team and goes to local gym, which means that he's having fun while exercising, and that he's in a social environment, so he's getting other skills out of it, and he wants to go and do this, so he looks forward to going and playing basketball and going to the gym, which means he looks forward to getting fitter and being healthier. Nutrition, he doesn't follow a specific diet, so there's more variety and options in his meals, which is good. It makes it easier if I want to make him a diet plan, because I don't have to avoid some certain foods or anything like that. So it makes it so I can give him a diet without having to worry whether he can eat something or not. However, he needs to drink more glasses of water, as he's not drinking the recommended amount, which means he might become dehydrated, or he's drinking sugary drinks instead, which means that his blood pressure might be a bit higher, because the more sugar makes your blood pressure go up. And he doesn't always eat his 5 a day, which is bad, because fruit and vegetables is very good for you, keeps you healthy, and therefore if he's not eating them, he might be eating more sugary stuff, which again puts his blood pressure up. And the more fruit and veg, the more likely he's eating a better diet, so therefore his waist to hip ratio will stay lower, which is good. And he could also eat less calories on a daily basis, because at the moment he eats a few too many, so this might cause his waist to hip ratio to increase, or his heart rate might go up because there's more fat, and blood pressure might go up because there's more fat blocking the arteries for the blood to flow through. So therefore, if he eats less calories, he will generally feel healthier and probably feel better, because he said that he eats the more calories because of snacking often. So if he cuts that out, he'll probably feel a lot better. Lifestyle. The strengths are that he's not under stress, he walks to work, and he's above the recommended exercise levels. This is good because if he has less stress, it means that his heart rate will be lower and his blood pressure won't be affected as much, because stress can often cause those two to go up. And it means when he's exercising, he won't be worrying about other things, and he can solely focus on getting fitter and healthier and stronger. The fact that he's above the recommended exercise level is good, because it means that he's keeping himself fit, and we don't have to set a specific exercise plan so much for him, because we know he already does quite a lot of exercise. So this is good because it keeps his resting heart rate quite low, and his blood pressure good, because he's getting blood around the body to his muscles, and his heart will get stronger as he does more exercise. However, areas for improvement, he needs to get more sleep, because he's under recommended sleep amount. This will help him feel like better in the day and feel more like exercising. And he also needs to drink less units of alcohol, which will cause his blood pressure to go down, because alcohol can often cause your blood pressure to go up. And if he has less alcohol, he'll have more room for other drinks such as water, which will mean he can get that up a bit higher. And he needs to smoke less, because smoking's not good for your lungs, and therefore his lung function results could be higher if he doesn't smoke, because he'll be able to exhale more oxygen out of his lungs. For physical health, the strengths are that he has no current injuries, and that there's no limitation that he has on his exercise, which means that we can set any exercises that we want him to do, and we don't have to worry about him not being able to do them or try and work around things because he could get injured. But the areas for improvement are that he needs to work a bit on his flexibility in his ankle, because he's just come back from a broken ankle, so therefore his ankle might be a bit weak and not flexible, which is bad for basketball because you have to do lots of jumping, and he also has pain in his back after lifting weights, which is bad because that's one of his strength exercises that he regularly does. So we need to try and work out how to get around that. So, strategies to improve goals. So, his problem is that he sometimes doesn't have enough time to exercise because of his job. So therefore, one of the strategies could be to try to go to a nearby 24-hour gym in his lunch break, as normally his banks are in the city, so therefore he is likely to work in the city, and there are plenty of gyms nearby which he could sign up to instead of Pure Gym, and Pure Gym isn't close to where he works. This will mean that he could go on his lunch break or straight after work, so that he can manage his time to exercise and go to work, so he's not missing out on key exercise time. Another solution could be to do HIIT exercises, so he still gets a lot out of his exercise, but it doesn't take long. This is because HIIT exercises are very intense, and therefore they would have a similar effect that a long distance run would have, but they take a lot less time. So I could set him a HIIT exercise routine of 45 seconds burpees, 45 seconds jump squats, 45 seconds alternating lunges, a 1 minute plank, 30-second press ups, and 30-second sit ups. This routine could be completed in his lunch break or in the evening in his lounge when he's back from home, because it doesn't require much equipment or space, so it can be completed anywhere really. A third strategy could be to cycle to work and home from the bank to his house, because it's a 20-minute cycle, which is ideal because it will take just as long to drive in to work and drive home, and therefore he's not wasting his commute time, as he is also using it to exercise, and it gives him 40 minutes of aerobic exercise every day. And then if he works on his strength exercises at home, as these don't take long and they can easily be done in his lounge, so therefore he's not taking too much time out of his day, and he's still doing aerobic and strength exercises. Nutrition. So his problem is that he needs to drink some more water. So he could keep a chart with 8 glasses of water on it, and every time he has a glass of water, he crosses it off the chart. So therefore, he'll be able to look at the chart and see how many glasses of water he's had, and if he needs to have 1 or 2 more, let's say in the evening when he looks at it, he can do that before he goes to bed. And then if he manages to have 8 in a day, he gets a reward which he can choose. This will mean that Josh will always drink the recommended glasses of water, so he doesn't become dehydrated or instead drink sugary drinks, which will cause his blood pressure to go up. And drinking more water could cause his blood pressure to decrease. Another problem is that he has a too high calorie intake. For this, he could devise a strict diet plan that he can follow every day that limits his average calorie intake to 2,000 calories a day. There's an app that you can get on your phone which tells you how many calories are in the food that you eat, and you can log these so that it monitors your calorie intake. This is called MyFitnessPal. This will stop him going over the recommended average calorie intake every day, and therefore his BMI will probably get even better. Another problem is that he doesn't have all of his 5 a day. So just like with the glasses of water, he could set up a chart where he monitors fruit and vegetables that he has eaten each day. So he can tick off each fruit or vegetable that he's eaten, and if he hasn't had 5, then he can make sure he has an extra one the next day. Lifestyle. So his problem is that he needs to get more sleep. So he could try to get into a set routine every night. So for example, he could go to bed at 10:30 every night and get up at 6:30 in the morning, giving him 8 hours of sleep, which is an ideal amount for a male of his age. Getting more sleep will mean that he's more relaxed and he might want to do more exercise, and he'll be more alive at work, so he might move around a bit more. Another problem is that he needs to drink less alcohol. To solve this, he can find out how many units of alcohol are in his typical choice of alcoholic drink, his favourite alcoholic drink. Then he can work out how many of these drinks he's allowed in a week. So ideally, he should limit himself to 6 to 8 units a week, but it's fine if he has around 10. So for example, if his preferred drink is a Carlsberg, then he should only have 3 or 4 a week, for example. This will help him to reduce his blood pressure and his heart rate. Problem is that he smokes weekly. So to solve this, he could try and cut down his smoking to occasionally or never, and this will improve his lung function test results because his lungs will be a lot stronger, so he can exhale more oxygen. He could do this by using nicotine pads to give you the nicotine without actually smoking, so you still feel like you're getting that nicotine that he would be normally craving. And he would do this by applying these patches to his arm a couple of times a day. However, if he struggled with this, he could also try e-cigarettes because they haven't got any nicotine in them, or usually some might have a bit, but not that much. So they're not that bad for him, and it gives him the notion of smoking, which makes it slightly easier to give up. Finally, physical health. Another problem for physical health is that he's just recovered from a broken ankle. To help with this situation, he could go to a local physio and receive treatment which helps him to improve his flexibility, strength and movement in his ankle and try and get it back to what it was like before he broke it. He will only require a few sessions of physio because she can give him exercises to work for at home, or this will help you a lot with your basketball, as you have to jump a lot, land on your ankles, you need them to be strong. Another problem is that he sometimes suffers from pain in the back after going to the gym and lifting weights. You could either visit your local GP or a physio and tell them about the type of pain that you keep suffering from after going to the gym. They should be able to identify any injuries that you may have suffered and what is causing these injuries. They might be able to prescribe any medication that will reduce the pain, or give you stretches or exercise to do at home to reduce the risk of suffering from the injury again. Another solution that you could take it a bit easy at the gym for a bit and avoid doing any of the exercise which are going to cause you more pain, like lifting weights. This should give the areas which are having trouble some rest so that you're able to recover, and then you can start lifting these weights again when you feel better.